Howdy, welcome to BanjoBenClark.com. I'm Banjo Ben, your host here on the website that teaches you how to play banjo guitar. This is Mandolin Week. We're finishing up this 3-week series on the entertainer. I've already taught banjo and guitar, and this is one of the funnest mandolin arrangements I've ever written. I love it. It's in the key of C. It's got a lot of swingy, jazzy type, and even some bluesy type stuff in there. Lots of difficult counting, but I walk you through that. If you're watching here on Facebook or YouTube, here in a moment, I'll ask you to come over to the website, BanjoBenClark.com. You can join as a Gold Pick member. You'll have access to this lesson as well as hundreds of others. I do one each and every week. Let me tell you what you get with this lesson. It's about a 30-minute video lesson. And then I've got tabs for both solos that I play on mandolin, as well as the rhythm. And I talk about all that in the video lesson too. We spend a lot of time, especially on the rhythm, just talking about how to get those different swing chords in there. Okay? Then I also have 3 different speeds of MP3 rhythm tracks that you can download and practice with. All right, so without further ado, let's jump into this intro to the entertainer on mandolin in C. Let's learn to play a really fun song on the mandolin. This is the entertainer in the key of C. It's typically a piano piece, as you know, but it turns out to make a really cool bluegrass song. This one I have listed in the advanced section on the site, not because there's too many really difficult licks in it, but there's a lot of difficult counting in it, a lot of syncopation to make it sound kind of swingy, that ragtime feel. Let's go ahead and throw up the first line of tab there. We've got our intro, and the first thing that you'll notice is beneath each one of these notes, I've got those little black arrows. Those are my suggested pick stroke directions. So a down arrow would be a down stroke, and an up arrow would be an upstroke on whatever particular string we have. You can follow my suggestions or you can branch out on your own if you want. Now for the intro, if you'll remember in the performance video, I split it between banjo and guitar and mandolin. Well, I've got it written out here as if you're doing it as a solo piece, so you can play the whole intro by yourself. So we're going to jump up and play it on the highest octave we can get on the mandolin, then we'll move down an octave each time we play it. We're going to start on the 10th fret of that first string with our middle finger, and we're going to go 10, 12, 8, and come down to the 12th fret of the second string. And then I'm going to come with my index finger and grab the 7th fret and then 10th fret again on the second string. So it sounds like this. Now we're going to go down and play that exact same lick, same notes, just an octave lower. And I want you to come down and grab this 5th fret on the A string with your middle finger. And we'll play 5, 7, 3, open. Then that gives us a little time to jump to the 2nd fret, 2, 5. And now we're going to play it again. We're going to change it up a little bit, but we're going to play it an octave lower, starting on our open D string. We're going to go open, 2, 5, 2, and then walk down in kind of a chromatic lick here. 4, 2, 1. I'm going to use my index finger to do 2, 1. Then open for a quarter note, measure 4. Then I'm going to come up to the 10th fret of our A string and grab that. That's a G note. We're going to grab it and kind of slide off of it. So let me just play for you that intro a little slowly. If it's too fast for you, remember I have another video segment here on the site where I play it much slower than this. Two, three. Now we're going to go into this A part of the song that we're going to repeat several times. It starts on that last beat of measure 4. We're going to start on the open D string, then play our 1st fret and slide into the 2nd fret, which is going to be the first beat of measure 5. And that's going to put us in this open C position. So we'll leave our index finger down and place our middle finger on the 3rd fret of the A string, and we'll go back and forth between those two. And each time when I play that 3rd fret, that C note, I like to lift my fingers and kill the notes. It just gives it that piano feel. Now, when we play that last 3rd fret in measure 5, right there, leave that down. That's going to trail over into measure 6. And we're going to hold that for the first couple beats of measure 6. And then on the and of 3, this is where counting really comes in handy. On the and of 3, we're going to play these little notes on the A string. 3, 5, 6. Okay. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and. And I just go ahead and play it with my last 3 fingers. When we get to measure 7, we're pretty much playing the straight up melody that the piano would play. We'll deviate from that here in just a second. Measure 7 sounds like this. It's so important to remember those rests. You see that little 8th note rest on the 3rd beat. We want to include that. So measure 7, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Measure 8, we start out with 3 quarter notes. The first one's just that C note, that 3rd fret of the A string, and then we're going to make that open C chord, and we're going to play through all the strings on the 2nd and 3rd beat. Then on the 4th beat, we're going to start that same little familiar lick over again, going into measure 9. Hold it over again through first half of measure 10. Then on the and of 3, we'll come down. And I want you to reach up and grab that 6th fret of the D string with your ring finger. It's just going to make it easier to play the next measure. So let's start there at the end of measure 6 and play through measure 10 slowly. Rest. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and. Good, now we're right in position for measure 11. Now we're going to play a cool little lick over a D7 chord.